Hey guys, it's Avery. So today I want to talk about my initial goals with starting HRT and what I was looking forward to and what I had planned, and about how I actually ended up changing my mind on what my goals were. And I want to talk about what also influenced my change of plans and the impact that society has on non-binary people. So when I first started hormone replacement therapy, I felt like I maybe want to reach a middle ground. I didn't want to fully pass as a man because I didn't feel that way internally, and I still do agree with that. I don't feel like a male internally. I feel very much smack in the middle and super gender neutral. But I felt that although I couldn't selectively pick the changes that I was going to receive from testosterone, I felt that maybe if I was on a low enough dose, or if I was keeping a watch on what changes were being brought to me, I can figure out when the appropriate time was to stop, and just kind of stop before it got to a point where I felt uncomfortable in my own body. A lot of people think that you can't really do that because changes come and that's it and it's over. It comes gradual enough where if you start to feel like you're in a good spot, then you kind of start to be more aware with everything, and then eventually you can kind of notice, oh, maybe I'll give myself another month, another 2 months or whatever, and I'll start to slow down and realize that the changes that I'm getting are enough, and then you can come to a stop, and whatever you have is what you have. Whatever you don't have, like, you're not gonna get, and it is what it is, So initially that was my plan. I was just gonna go day by day, month by month, whatever, and figure out how I felt about the changes and how they were impacting me and my comfort levels and all of that. And everything was going well so far, but I think that what made me change my mind on my goals was the fact that society, although is progressing into a more non-binary state, in a sense that people are becoming more aware and people are getting educated and understanding that not everyone falls between or within the binary. Although that is the case, that there is some progress, I managed to convince myself that no matter how much work the community was going to do, or no matter how much work I was going to do with myself and with the people I interact with, I am always going to be put into a box. I'm always going to be either viewed as a woman or viewed as a man. And I could not stand the idea of being placed in the box of being a woman. And because of that, my goals from becoming more of, or my goals of reaching a body where I felt like it was more me and more middle grounded and more androgynous have turned into wanting to be more male presenting. And it's not that my internal sense of self has become more masculine or more male oriented. It was just the fact that I didn't like the idea that society was going to pick one or the other, and there were chances that I was going to be put in the girl box. Like, that was just something that I did not want at all. And for me to put myself on purpose in the boy box felt so much easier, so much better. I'm not saying that it's easier for binary trans men or women to navigate around society, but for me personally, in my circumstance and in my situation and the way that I live my life, I felt that it would be a lot easier for me to just go by they, them, or he, him pronouns, and just kind of try my best to grow a beard, pass as a dude. That way people wouldn't put me in the girl box at all. Like I was hoping for maybe 90% of the time I would be judged as male, and 10% of the time I'd be judged as female or something like that. And for a while, that's what I kind of agreed on. I never really told anyone. It was more like, I think that's what I would prefer, and I think that's a lot better than being viewed as a woman and stuff like that. But months have gone by, and I've kind of seen people online present as super masculine and male and stuff like that, and it was totally cool, but I stopped seeing myself in them. Like when I first started testosterone, I knew I wanted to start because I would see people gain these minor changes at the beginning of their journey, and I saw myself in that. I saw myself in the body hair. I saw myself in the lowering of the voice, and I saw myself in a lot of that, and I knew that that was who I was supposed to be. That was the body that I was supposed to have, but I did not at the time. And as I started seeing these people grow more and more like masculine with facial hair and just presenting and expressing themselves as super, super masculine, I realized that passing as a man was actually not okay for me. I realized that I mean, it's not the case for everybody, and you can interpret this, however you want, but for me personally, passing as a man kind of erases my queer identity. It doesn't actually erase it, but for me, I feel like being able to express myself as a queer person in a queer manner and be identifiable as a queer individual is very important for me. So for me to pass as a cis dude is not something I feel comfortable in, and for some people that's like their dream, that's their goal, and that's totally fine, and I super 100% support those people. But for a while I was like, that's what I want, because I would much rather be a dude than be labeled as a girl. But again, these changes come gradually, and you learn more and more about yourself as the days go on, and the more changes that come, and the influences that society has on you. You do have to take the time to self-reflect and analyze your feelings and what you truly feel, instead of how you want to be seen in society, because society will always put you in a box, whether it's gender, whether it's sexuality, whether it's literally anything, whether it's education, your economic status, your religion, anything. So it's not something that you can really avoid, and I feel like I was trying to avoid that by just trying to be okay with being put into a box, and maybe if I can choose the box, everything would be okay, but that's not the case. And it's okay to change your mind on things. It's okay if you realize that you are a dude instead of being fully not saying that non-binary boys or non-binary girls aren't fully non-binary, but you know what I mean, like only non-binary and don't identify partially as a binary gender. But it's okay if you change your mind and you realize that you are partially or wholly a binary gender. That's totally fine. And sometimes you might fluctuate and think back and forth and change your mind a lot of the time, and really think that, hey, maybe I want to go all the way and fully pass as a dude. And sometimes you think back and you're like, that's not what I want. And yeah, that's what's been going on for me. I was totally convinced. I was like, I need to be a dude. I know internally I'm not, and I'm not going to tell people that I'm a dude, but externally I'd like to present that way. And turns out I don't. I really like looking androgynous. I want to try to maintain that as much as I can, because it's important to me, for me to be able to be identifiable as a queer individual, and that's a huge part of my identity, and I don't want to lose that chance or to jeopardize that. I'm not saying that going all the way with HRT is going to jeopardize that opportunity for anybody, but for me personally, I think it would. So I'm back on just doing me, and once that I've realized what I truly wanted, After coming back to realizing that queerness is super, super important in my life and for me to present that way, I've realized that it's 100% how I feel most comfortable in my body, in my skin, in the clothing that I wear, in the way that I express myself, and with my own identity. And knowing that and really truly feeling that inside and outside has made me so much happier. And honestly, like, my feelings towards being trans and the struggles that I experience due to society on a day-to-day basis have diminished a lot. I'm not saying that they're not there anymore, but it's definitely gotten a lot easier because I know who I am, I love who I am, and I'm okay with the direction that I'm going into. And it has allowed me to experience a sense of peace, you know? So that's all I really have to say. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. It's been like forever. I am so sorry, I've been so busy. But thanks for being patient. I'll see you all next time. Bye.